Okay, it's Rick here. Today I'm going to show you what happens when you request a link audit from me. What I do is I use link research tools, link detox, to find out as much information as possible about the backlinks to your site or indeed a competitor's site. Now this one I'm looking at here, this is a competitor's site, competitor to one of my clients. And this one's doing very well for things like Fort Myers fishing charters and phrases like that. So what I'm going to do is use this as an example to find out why it is doing so well. Okay, so I'm going to open up the link detox and I'll put in the domain name. I've put the www in there because there might be links linking to both the www and the one version without, so I'm going to look for both the top domain and the www.subdomain. Now I have a choice here of ignoring no-follow links or activating the no-follow evaluation. I generally always choose no-follow evaluation because I believe they can hurt you, and I need to pick a possibly have travel and maybe sports and recreation. This is not a site of a client, so I don't know if they've got a Google manual action. I suspect they have not. I'm going to choose the classic mode of working, and in this part here, if you have given me some lists of backlinks that you may have, or possibly ones that an old SEO company built 5 years ago or whatever, then if you've got those, it's really useful to upload them here, especially if Google doesn't know about them anymore, because as we will discover, a link that isn't from a page that isn't indexed by Google is one of the worst links you can have. Also, if you have a disavow file, I can upload it here, so that will be taken into account when the software runs, but this is a competitor site, so we don't have a disavow file. And I'm just going to go detox my site. Okay, I've just put these two notepad things here in just to obscure the actual client's domain. And the interesting thing here is this report here was actually my client's one that had 1,358 URLs pointing to it, and there wasn't very many quality ones there at all. In fact, there was probably one or two. Now straight away we can see here that this Captain Tony's one is about 91% done, and this ranks really well, and he has so far 201 URLs that are linking to it, so it kind of implies they're going to be better quality, but we'll see. Anyway, this can take 15-20 minutes to run. In the case of a site with zillions of backlinks, it can take much longer. Okay, here's the report from CaptainTonys.com, and it's looking pretty good, I must admit. Here where it says found 497 links, that's how many actual links it found, and quite often you see this in a penalised domain of being like thousands or even tens of thousands, and 497 seems quite reasonable. Link detox filters out excessive ones and ones that have been deleted as well, so that leaves 71 referring root domains to deal with. Now the Kemper Power Trust is 9 here, which is great, and also the power and the trust are equal, which is always nice to see. At the moment I haven't classified any of the anchor text key phrases, which I'll need to do next, so this might change, but normally, certainly with a penalised site, you see that being in the thousands. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and classify at least 80% of the anchor text, which is going to take me a while. Okay, so I've started classifying the key phrases. So things like, for example, Fort Myers deep sea fishing, that is going to be a money key phrase. Captain Tony's Fishing Adventures, that's the name of his company, so that's a brand key phrase. So Fort Myers beach deep sea fishing, that's just money. Captain Tony's Charters, that's a brand. brand. Captain Tony's Fishing. I would say these two are probably like compound key phrases, because you've got fishing and fishing charters in there, and Captain Tony's, which is the brand. So it's a mixture of both. So that's a compound. This one here, grouper catch shark fishing, that's money. See this one here that says website, that's just a straight sort of other key phrase. That could have been like click here or go here, or see the site or whatever. Captain Tony's Fishing Adventures brand. Captain Hook Charters. I don't know. Let's say it's probably money, actually, because it's probably some sort of service he does. If we look at the rest of them, there's only a few left. So that's brand. Captain Tony's Boat. I suppose with money, a money key phrase is something people would put in a search engine to find something. So I think Captain Tony's Boat, you'd probably want to know what his boat looked like. So I'd say that's a money key phrase. Deep sea fishing trips, once again, that's money. That's it, really. Quite often there's a few thousand of those to do, but this site doesn't have many. So we go back to the main report, and what it says here is the report needs reprocessing. So what it will do, it will I'll just come here and go reprocess, and once again I'm going to check that I'm activating the no follow evaluation, and I reprocess the links. Now that'll take a little while. So what that's doing now is it brings into play other rules which may flag up other links as being problematic, or be more problematic than it did the first time round. I will show you what happens when we come back to it. Okay, come back now, and we've now got 100% keyword classification, and this detox risk has gone down. It's really good. And looking at the key phrases, the brand is strong, there's a few compound, the money isn't overdone, and there's some other ones there as well. And this is wonderful. This is there's 25 links that are very high risk. Okay, we can deal with them, but there's 29 that are good, which is great, and there's 147 that we need to look at properly and decide what to do with. So first of all, I'm going to look at the toxic ones. I do have to go and have a look at all these. I mean, I don't really care about this one because it's just a competitor. But if this was, say for example, a client with a problem, what I would do, I'd go and have a look at that site there, this mail.nhbis.com. And in fact, when you come here, it's NHB Internet Services, and it looks like they probably built the link, and they probably built the site as well for fishing Fort Myers Beach, Florida fishing trips. Now that isn't necessarily a bad link, because they did build it, and let's just see if it's no follow. That is a follow link, that is. So, but if this is a strong domain, it's probably not a bad thing. The problem is that URL there, if we were to go to Google and do site : you will see that actually isn't indexed by Google. Now I think that's a mistake, because what they've done is I think they've got their server misconfigured, so that mail.nhbis, that's probably got the wrong A record in the DNS, and if I was to swap that for, say, www, I bet that certainly will be indexed. So that is indexed. So in this case, I mean, normally toxic ones, I would say, are always bad, but in this case they're actually not, so I'm going to mark them all as good. That's actually quite rare, that sort of thing happens. So yeah, again, if I look at Florida Fun Finders, okay, this site looks like it was made in 1997. There's Captain Tony there. It looks like quite a crappy page, to be honest. It's just a list. So let's see if that one is indexed by Google. The software says it's not, and sure enough it isn't. So that is indeed a crappy link, and I didn't like the site, so I'm going to recommend that one is disavowed by domain. Now what I would do, I'd go through all these and I'd rate them all as good or bad, and then decide if I was going to disavow it by domain or disavow it by page. So I'll just finish these off. That's all them done. Some were a bit odd. I mean, the Captain Hook one, it was this page here, statesflorida.com. I mean, the site looks a bit crap, really. The actual link was here. I mean, this was a Toxic 3 link, and they're usually ones that they've generally been flagged quite a few times as being sort of not a good place to have a link. It's fairly borderline, this. I mean, it's not a particularly good site. It has no particular power to it. That column there is the power trust, which is 0, so it's not doing you any favours anyway, so I would say disavow that one. Okay, so that's them. Next I would have a look at the ones with the medium link audit priority. Now here it gets a bit more tricky, because you need to go through each of these. You can do them with this link detox descreener. So here, for example, I can see this marks Florida. Now here it tells you the detox risk, and it's below average. It's not particularly bad, and it says it's got a suspicious 4 rule that's triggering, which means it is possibly from a penalised page. Suspicious 1 means it's on a weak domain. It doesn't have any links to it. So suspicious 2, it's a link coming from it's either a new or a very weak domain. I'll guess by the fact there's plenty of this site that it's not that new. It's just a pretty rubbish site, really. So with this one, if I was trying to remove a manual penalty, I'd probably rate it bad. If I was trying to remove an algorithmic penalty, I'd probably maybe leave it in there. But this site doesn't have a penalty, so I'm just going to say that's good, and then move on to the next one. BoatRentalKeyWest.com. I mean, it certainly sounds like it's in the right niche. So here we have, think about the partners. We recommend Captain Tony's fishing adventures. Now, there's probably a paid link, but nevertheless it's okay, it's on topic and all that, so I'd probably say that one's good. I have done a few more now. I mean, generally most of them are coming in the detox risk of low or below average, and this is the sort of thing you just don't see with a site that's penalised. You see like high or above average all the time. There are a few that crept up though, with a link to the actual URL in a forum, Michigan forums. These are definitely worth looking at carefully, because forums have always been a sort of very popular place to go and spam with your links, but quite often you do get people having a chat in the forum and just a genuine link that's good. And just look for the URL. Okay, there it is. So what's this guy saying? He said he was born in Florida, he's fished there a lot, and he's put a link to Captain Tony's there. This is a sort of link that's really good because it's genuine. This guy here, he's already got 3,458 posts, so it's not just someone who's joined up to drop a link. This is actually somebody who hangs around this forum, does good stuff. So he's dropped a link, and that's fine. It's actually a follow link, so that's a good link, that is. So in which case I'm going to say that one there, Michigan forums, that one there, they're both good. You can also notice on this page here that the NHBIS thing with a proper WW in front comes out as a below average as a below average link. So we would have been completely wrong to disavow that other one, particularly if we disavowed it by domain, because we do want a link from there. That's a good link. It's saying it's suspicious 22, which means it has the same website footprints as other linking domains. Now that's quite likely, because if they're the people who actually made the website, then they've probably got a few places where they've put a few links, and they might use a similar CMS or something. Anyway, the whole point is with this is it's not automatic. I do have to go through all these links and use my knowledge and training to sort of decide what's good and what's bad, and every site is different. Every site is completely different. For the moment, I'll just finish up doing this and then come back. Okay, so now we're on to the good links. These are the very low risk, and if we can sort them by power and trust, you can see that these ones here with the 4s, they're all good links. So something like the Surfing Gator. Okay, so this is the Surfing Gator Florida boating guide, and this looks like a kind of a reasonably useful resource sort of thing. Now, it's got all these fishing charter people here. It looks like you can add your business. You probably have to pay for it, but nevertheless, from looking at this that is a low audit priority. It's got a power trust of 4, which is okay. It's not brilliant, but it's not bad at all. This works well on the co-citation kind of strategy, where if you've got links from a similar place to your competitor, that is seen as being a very good link as well. Okay, so that's all the links classified as good or bad, and the ones I've decided to disavow, I've disavowed using that thing there. So now all I need to do is to reprocess the report. So bear in mind that's on 234 at the moment. You will see that change when I reprocess it. The good news for the competition is now they've got a list of the very best links that Captain Tony has, so they can go after them themselves. And for example, that directory one about the surfing, that looks like it'd be easy to get a link there, so that's what I would suggest they did. Okay, so that's the reprocessing done. Now if you come down here, you'll see that now the domain detox risk, if they were to upload the disavow file that I would recommend, would move that down to a domain risk, detox risk of 89, which is stunning, and still with a power trust of 9. So it's no surprise that this site ranks so well. What I can do now is I can get the report for the whole of this in Excel format. Okay, so I can get the Excel spreadsheet, and say we don't really need those lines there because we know about that already, so I can just delete those, and I can come over here and look for the ones that I've rated good and also the ones that have a higher power trust. So what I can do is just sort the table by searching by the rate link and add a level, and also the power trust, going from the largest to the smallest. The rate link, I want the good before the bad, so I'll go Z to A. So for example, you can see that the NHBIS site, you won't be able to get a link there because they will have no reason to link to you. Surfing Gator that we looked at already, that's quite possible to get a link there, but you might also want to look at things like the Southwest Florida Travel Guide.com, Getaway Marina. These places you might be able to get a link there. If you can, they'll be some of the best links you can get. If this was a client site, I'd be saying these are great, and if for example that one that was a no follow, if that was possible to turn that into a follow link, that would be great as well, because these are all the powerful ones. So just an example there of what can be done with a link audit, and also if this was your own site, so say if Captain Tony was my client, I could just go to the Google disavow links, and I could just get that file, disavow file, that you could you could upload, and that'd be great. You can see this one is actually would be tiny because there wasn't really that much wrong at all with the site. If Captain Tony was my client, I would say upload that, and your site will be safe from any Google penalties. Okay, so that's what the link audit is all about. What I would do, as well as that spreadsheet, I would also send you this PDF here, and this PDF has useful information like it tells you sort of what your brand, compound, money, key phrases are like, the anchor text, how it links to you in kind of percentages of the link audit priority. So here we had, this was when it was finally done, so you've got lots of low priority links and only a few high ones, so this is all good. Detox risk is good. If this was a client of mine, I'd be saying, like, you're doing everything pretty good, just get me to keep an eye on things for you and you will do really good. If this was a competitor, I would say look at that spreadsheet, see what links you can get that's similar. Okay, that's Rick Lomas talking about link audits.